Uh, whoops.
These are going to be the weirdest podcast because one of us is completely out of his mind because he just spent all night at work and then drove home looking for deer every 6 feet, and then you're running off to find fires. We're both idiots.
Well, I think we've already had one playback on our YouTube live. I have no idea how that happened. But it's like 15 minutes of us talking and then nothing because I forgot to hit the end button.
Did you ever see the video of I think it was Snoop Dogg that did that. He was playing video games on his Twitch account. He was playing Madden or something and got so pissed off he rage quit, fucking threw the controller down, just walked out, forgot to turn it off, so it just played for like 16 hours.
That's pretty awesome. Well, I am looking at myself in the YouTube live stream, and it looks like I need to shave again tomorrow morning.
Ah.
Yes, we have to shave while we're here.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were talking about the Whoop belt?
Oh, God. Yes, Whoop strap.
Yes.
I think it's WHOOP.
I'm looking it up right now.
One of the coolest things it does is it tracks your sleep patterns, but then it tracks your resting heart rate, your heart rate variability, and it kind of throws all these things together.
Okay.
And tells you, based on the number of hours you slept, how you slept, what your heart rate was, during sleeping and when you wake up and everything. It kind of says, all right, you slept really well, you recovered really well, go nuts today. Or it says, all right, there's clearly something you're, trying to respond to and you're a little stressed out still. So go maybe, half speed, during workouts and stuff today. And it just seems like a really cool kind of collaborative technology that lets you know how hard you worked, because it has calorie counters and intensity counters and all those types of things. So it says, all right, you had a holy dog shit workout and you slept really well, so you should be pretty good today. And then it gives you all these different levels of things, but it's a very cool product.
Well, Katrin, David's daughter, is on there with the Whoop, so she's apparently uses it.
Oh, is she a good athlete?
I guess so. Something like a two times CrossFit Games athlete, I guess.
Yeah, I think I've heard of her before.
Yeah. So she's the third picture on their website.
Damn.
Yeah. So so that looks like we'll have to do a little more research and play with it a little bit and see if maybe we can organize a discount for our FTF members.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. I mean, that's our next step, is to start working with some companies to work on some discount programs and stuff like that. So definitely something to look into. Okay, so wearable technology, I think we've hit that one kind of we've kind of gone over that quite a bit. One of the other trends that's coming up, actually, let me go over this is from a website called GlowFox, and it said 11 fitness trends to watch out for in 2021. And I'll combine these with the ACSM ones. But number 1 was outdoor fitness. 2 was remote personal training and wellness coaching. Weird. 3 was hybrid fitness.
Did anyone do that you know of?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. These guys from FTF seem to be trying to. Speaking of, I'll talk to you about that in a second too. 3 is hybrid fitness, which is like trying to get digital fitness. So digital fitness is another big one that's coming up. At-home workouts, inclusive fitness for all, wearable fitness tech, high-intensity interval training, which was number 2 on the ACSM list, and then corporate wellness. And those are the ones that they came up with for the 10 biggest trends coming in 2021.
What was the last one, sorry?
Corporate wellness.
Oh, yeah.
Which has always been a big thing. I think it's becoming more and more to light, because companies want their employees to be healthy, because we have learned that you get a $3 return on. This was back actually in like 2005. It was like a $3 return on investment, and since health insurance has gone up and all that stuff, I would imagine that it's probably more like a $4 or $5 return on investment now. For
I guarantee it's more than that.
Yeah, for corporate wellness programs. So corporate wellness programs are a big deal. But let's talk about this high intensity interval training, because that seems to be coming up in a couple different places. So HIIT training is not anything new.
Yeah, it's not at all. So that's been a trend. Well, shit, 70s, 80s.
Oh yeah, if not longer. It's known as many different names. The most recent, I would say, fad, and I don't know how big it's getting or how big it has gotten since I left that particular brand name. But CrossFit was a high intensity interval training workout. Circuit training is a high intensity interval training workout. So a high intensity interval training is kind of like it's like a big global kind of category of a style of fitness, if you will. And so what it's based on is it's based on the fact that you are working out at high intensity for a short amount of time, and you get an insane amount of calories burned in that short amount of time. So people who have maybe 15 to 20 minutes to get something in, if they train at high intensity interval training style or methodology, then they're getting a large calorie output in a short amount of time. And I think that's really where the popularity of high intensity interval training has come into play in today's society, is that people are lacking time.
Well, sure.
So
lacking time has always been one of the bigger barriers to getting into a fitness program. Is, you got to have 3 or 4 or 5 days a week and this many hours and this and that, and a lot of people don't have that much time.
No, they don't. And combined with that, number 7 on the ACSM list was bodyweight training. Bodyweight training, FTF has the no equipment needed program, which is it's a high intensity interval training program that you can do without any equipment. And I think that that's going to be a big moving forward, because people are starting to work out outdoors a lot more, that they're not taking equipment with them. I think that the bodyweight training is going to continue to grow. And I think that people are realizing that it takes money to invest in equipment for the home. And so as people are getting going, they can start with bodyweight training and start getting fit just using their own body.
Well, sure. And I think one of the nice things about that is you start to kind of figure out kind of the directions that you like to go, whether it is, monomodal type stuff, running or cycling or swimming, whether it's real high intensity, things like that, whether it's more calisthenic type of stuff, whether it's more, yoga or Tai Chi types of things. I think it gives you kind of an idea of the type of thing that you like before you have to go throwing a bunch of money at it.
Yes, absolutely. And I think the good thing about it too is it's so accessible. You can actually do with bodyweight training, you can actually completely change your focus of bodyweight training. So you can actually do a bodyweight strength training program.
Oh, absolutely you can.
And you could also do a bodyweight hypertrophy training program. And it all depends on how you're adding the stimulus, just like we talked about the stress and adaptation podcast. You can change the stimulus of using your body weight and get whatever result you want out of it.
All right. I mean, your body weight is still a force of resistance. So it's going to, if you do it the right way, it's still going to bring about, whatever adaptations that you want it to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Number 12 was functional fitness training. So it's interesting. Functional fitness training. I tend to think that most fitness training is functional.
But you would hope so. Yeah. It's such a weird term. I never liked that. Oh, functional fitness. Yeah. Okay. So this is, I can do shit now or what?
Yeah. So I don't know what they mean by functional fitness training. I didn't really they don't really describe what these things are in the ACSM article, but they just kind of list them.
Consider that more just using types of resistance that are more everyday types of things, or doing more everyday type of movement types of things, rather than pole dancing or synchronized swimming and shit like that.
Yeah. Well, synchronized swimming can actually
Nothing
be.
to say anything bad about those, of course.
Well, I was going to say synchronized swimming. I think is actually very functional. I mean, we swim all summer
I don't
long.
want to get my ass kicked by a pole dancer.
Yeah, I guarantee you they'll be at your house tomorrow.
To be a big pole dancer, but still.
Yeah. So I think that came up as number 12 on the ACSM list. Training with free weights is number 4. That's actually good to see that's on the fitness trends for 2021.
Well, I think older, they were one of kind of the first ones to start talking about, especially in an aging population, how good resistance weight-based training is for you, for longevity and mobility and everything else.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me at all for that.
No. Oh, hey, look, wait, real quick. Functional fitness training, this is what they say about it. It's a trend towards using strength training to improve balance, coordination, muscular strength, and endurance to improve activities of daily living, typically for older adults, but also in clinical populations. Replicating actual physical activities someone might do as a function of their daily routine, functional fitness first appeared on the survey in the number 4 position in 2007, but fell to number 8 in 2008. It was number 8 in 2013 and 14. Number 7 in 2016, 12 and 17, and so it's number 9 in 2019, and then this year it's number 12. So, and then free weight training. I think training with free weights. They say that the previous surveys included a category described as strength training, and that's what it was. It was determined to be too broad a category. Strength training was dropped in favor of the more specific free weight training. So they're talking about free weights, barbells, kettlebells, dumbbells, medicine ball classes.
I would push back with them on that one, but it would be irrelevant for me to do so. But I know everyone thinks of dumbbells and barbells and things like that, but I think what we're learning over the last 10, 15 years, 130 years if you're in Bulgaria, is you don't need weights to accomplish weight-based.
No, dude, I was on Instagram the other day because I'm still trying to keep up our Instagram page, which is I'm not very good at it. But it came across a Instagram page that was all it was people using like sticks with bricks on them, and then they had one page or one picture was somebody using blocks, those bricks that have like 2 big old holes in them, and they had them on the end of sticks, and that's what they were using for bench press. And somebody made an entire gym out of 2x4s.
Yeah,
it was amazing. I was like, God, what a great idea.
I've seen some seriously hefty squat racks made out of 2x4s.
Yeah, it's impressive.
And they look completely asinine, but I mean, if you ever try to do anything, on axis with a 2x4, those things aren't going anywhere.
No, not at all. You remember the angry slosh pipe? Speaking of fitness fads.
The angry what?
Angry slosh pipe. Remember the PVC pipe filled with water?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I called it the angry slosh pipe because every time I used it, I got pissed off.
Yeah, no shit. That'll show you some weaknesses real quick.
Yeah. I think I threw that thing down more times than I care to admit.
Yeah, as mean as that thing is by itself, if you throw that into a workout, all of a sudden have to do 10 overhead squats for those damn things. Like, damn it, I know my right shoulder's a weakness. Stop pointing it out to everyone in the gym.
Well, here's some interesting some U.S. news. Again, going back to now, they're tracking 2020 fitness trends. U.S. News put high intensity interval training, working with a personal trainer, group training, training with free weights, functional fitness training. So we're seeing a lot of these trends over the last 3 or 4 years that they're just consistent, and a lot of them are, and especially with the pandemic, a lot of them are becoming at-home type activities, and people are looking for. Have you heard of iFit?
Oh, I'm not sure if I've heard of that specific one or not.
Okay, well, it's like Peloton. You have classes that you can do on your treadmill. Like I have a Nordic Track treadmill and NordicTrack elliptical trainer, and they have pre-recorded workouts that you can actually do on those particular machines, and you can have a quote unquote trainer walk you through that. And I think that's becoming another big trend, is live in-home trainers, as well as the remote coaching, like we were talking about a little bit earlier. In fact, going back to remote coaching for just a minute, one of our members, one of our subscribers, emailed me today because he started paying for the program last month, but just started it today. So he sent me a question. He's like, "Hey, coach," he said, "there's a lot of options on your programming, and I'm not 100% sure. My goal is strength. What am I supposed to do?" And so we kind of went through a couple things, and because we hadn't posted the 10 by 10s on the actual website, I actually told him kind of how to, because it's been a little while since he's worked out. I was kind of instructing him on how to use the programming for the first month to get him up to speed to where we're going to be on our strength training program in the next month. So,
Sure.
So remote coaching, I think, is a big deal. I think it's when we had the gym in 2013, and when I went to Pasadena in 2014, I was remote coaching people all over the world, and had a lot of gyms working with me, and we were doing programming, and we were doing seminars pretty much all over the world. So that's been, remote coaching's been on the rise, and I think that we're going to see in 2021 that it becomes even more popular, because I think people are starting to realize that that going to the gym actually takes a lot of time. And that,
well, sure, and a lot of people, especially when they're starting out, when they get there, they're so self-conscious that they're in their head the entire time, and they're really not getting the most out of their sessions anyhow.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that remote coaching, there's so many different technologies now that you can use. You've got Zoom, you've got Google Hangouts, you've got YouTube Live.
That's what I was going to say. It's not even just the trend of wanting to do remote things. It's that the infrastructure to be able to do it has just exploded. So it's so easy anymore.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because you used to have to get a bunch of programs and a bunch of different things, and there was no such thing as live streaming and FaceTiming and stuff like that. It wasn't possible. It was a phone call or some weird low resolution video session that didn't do anyone any good.
Yeah, and that's what I think too. And I think with the introduction of apps now, apps, it's actually kind of funny because apps was removed from the fitness trend list for this year, which is interesting because I think more and more people are using apps on their phone. But I think the type of app that they're using is different. It's no longer just the app that's doing the recording of the workout. I think now what they're looking for is they're looking for videos, and they're looking for instruction on the actual app itself, so that they understand what it is that they're doing, which is part of the reason why we're doing our videos now. Because I think people want that knowledge so that they can go in and be safe and effective in their workouts.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I'm sure you've written a workout or two, as I have, where you write stuff down because in your head you know exactly what it looks like, exactly how it's supposed to go, and exactly what it's supposed to do. And you go, yeah, it should be perfect there. And you write in a program, and you get an email or message back almost immediately.
What's that?
What the hell is a Bulgarian split squat?
Yeah, it's
a split squat. It is called Bulgarian because it came from. Okay, great. What the fuck is a split squat?
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, being able to have a video library full of all the movements that you generally use, and being able to actually watch people as they're working out, so you can correct minor form cues and things like that, is insanely valuable for sure.
Well, and I think like even our website. So Sunday. Sunday? No. Is today Monday?
Yes.
Okay. Or are we almost on Tuesday? We're almost on Tuesday.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Technically for me it's Tuesday, yeah.
So
5 o'clock somewhere.
So Saturday, it was Saturday. So Saturday I worked until 3 p.m. Maybe it was Friday I did the videos. I don't know. Anyway, It must have been Friday, because Friday I cleaned out the garage and got all the stuff ready for the pool house and gym. Yeah, I got it all out of the garage. So the garage was clean. I was like, oh, this is a great opportunity to do 30 movement videos. So I spent 30 minutes recording these 30 movement videos. I was sweating my ass off.
Oh, I'm sure.
So,
The
but
worst thing is doing some of these things while you're trying to talk someone through it.
yeah, well,
Your core is supposed to be engaged, and then you're trying to talk. And it's like, this is way too much work.
yeah, way too much. So, but it's good. So we're getting our movement videos, and I know in our community group, people are getting those videos, and pretty soon they're only going to be on the website. And we're going to have a movement library section. So what I'm going to do with each of those movements is I'm going to take those movements and put them into their own separate little 1 minute video, if that, where people can actually get at least the what the movement should look like, and they can click on. I'll start putting these links into the programming so that they can click on it and go, oh, okay, this is what this is. So that's the goal of the website, so that people know. And so eventually our library will have probably well over 400 or 500 different videos.
Clearly, especially we start getting into odd implements and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So anyway, that's definitely an up and coming trend. I think is the remote coaching. I think the app thing too. I think personally, I think we're going to see more use of programs that are pre-recorded on an app, so that people can just subscribe to the app and then they get 30 different programs. Or whatever it is, so that they have several months of training on one app that they pay $19 a month for, or whatever.
Sure, and if they want to, do 3 months of this and then 3 months of that, it's all in the same app. It's all the same subscription, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so those are I think are the biggest trends that we're going to see. Group training is up there. I still think that group training is still a thing. I think that people like group training. It's kind of interesting because I feel like the brand that we were involved with when we had FTF physical location was probably the forefront of the group training movement, if you will.
They did that very well, yes.
Yeah, extremely well. And not to say that we didn't do group training before, because as a personal trainer, I would have 3 or 4 people training together. But it was never in as well of an organized fashion as that was. And I think where I got introduced to group training the most was when I was a coach with Sacramento Fire Department. And I had between 30 and 40 recruits that I had to figure out how to train at one time. So from 2001 to 2007, actually 2000 to 2007, I was in charge of these 30 to 40 recruits every academy. And so I had to figure out how to make group training work, which is where FTF became really kind of less challenging for me, because I had been doing group training for so long already. And but I do think that people enjoy group training because they're with their friends. You make new friends. You have people pushing you. You have a coach that pushes you. So I think that's another good trend. And I don't think that we're done with it. I think that we're still going to see group training as things open up. I still think we're going to see that. In fact, there's group training kickboxing classes now here in Fresno. There's Soul Cycle, Orange Theory. All those are going really well, I think.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get rid of that, because I think it's one of the things that people miss the most is just engaging with, with their friends and with their, the people at work or the people in their fitness class. So I don't think that's going anywhere. I think people will get or start to really appreciate the remote training type of thing for, specific stuff they want to do, or if they, go on a vacation for a month and need someone to help them out. But I definitely don't think the group training as a trend or direction is going to change.
No, I don't think so either. I think it's going to be good. It's what we built our entire customer base on. It was group training originally. So And we're working on doing that again. We're working on figuring out how we can build our community and continue to build the community. And we're, every day the community is what really drives, I think, people to get results is when they have somebody that holds them accountable, and it may not even be the coach.
Well, right, and I think for a lot of people, it's not necessarily the coach. It's that group type of environment where, damn it, you're tired and shit, I don't want to pick up that bar again. But, well, shit, Mike or Susie just picked up their bar, and shit, I got to keep up with them. So, while the coach can motivate you, I don't think they're the driving force on people really pushing, a little bit beyond their boundaries to really make some good changes.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. So what kind of things, Brian, in your mind, since we talked about some of the biggest trends, what are some fads that you have seen work versus what fitness fads have you seen come and go? Like goat yoga?
Goat yoga.
So we have baby goats, right?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, so the only type of yoga that I can do is when I'm sprawled out on the ground because I tried to catch him and I landed on my face.
Yeah, that sounds about right, yeah. Yeah. And they just walk on top of you, and that's supposed to be a workout.
Yeah. So, but people like goat yoga. I think that's the connection with the animal that they get out of that, and most people don't.
Sure.
Most people don't see
put
goats.
That on the fact that the internet can put you into anyone's home on the planet. So the 14 people that absolutely love goat yoga, it's just easier to plug into them.
Yeah. So fads come and go. So we talked about a couple of the biggest fads of the ages, the Body by Jakes and all that stuff. So what kind of things are you seeing out there as far as fitness fads? Now, I have to tell you, I'm playing with, I folded up a piece of paper yesterday. You remember those little cootie catchers?
No.
Oh, well, I've got a cootie catcher on YouTube Live right now. So the whole two people that watch our podcast.
Well, fitness trends. Well, I think going back to the remote training and the at-home training and things like that, there was a big trend a long time. The whole Beachbody thing and the P90X and Insanity workout and all this type of thing.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
It did really well, but the problem was it was a time-based program. So after 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, you were done.
Right.
So now what?
Right.
That's kind of things I didn't really like about those is, I know we've talked a lot about if you do anything significantly different from what you're doing now for a little while, it's going to work.
Yes.
So sure. Doing all these 30, 60, 90-day programs or whatever, it's probably going to get you real good results for 90 days because that's not necessarily hard to do.
Right.
And then after that 90 days, you're done, and then what do? Do you do the whole program again? I wouldn't because it's not going to do anything.
For sure.
I mean, that's about the kind of longer points of your adaptation curve, where if you keep doing that exact same type of thing, it's not going to do anything for you.
Yeah.
So I know those did very well, and they introduced people to that style of training, I think, because that's mostly high interval, type of stuff by itself.
Yeah.
So I think it introduced people to that style of training, and a lot of people liked it. Similarly, that they liked, CrossFit and Orange Theory and all these types of things that are more, type of programs. So for that, I think it was good. But the fact that after your 2 or 3 months or whatever, you were kind of out in the cold, I don't like that as a trend because it's kind of I need to get this next 90-day program or figure out the next 90-day thing I need to do that's going to work. This is not your life shouldn't be 90 days at a time type of thing. It should be something you want to do for a long time.
And that's the biggest thing is not getting bored. And I think if you go through it a couple times, it's kind of like, okay, what I know the routine, and I think constantly changing the workouts is actually not a bad thing because it does keep your mind engaged in the program. I do think that they were very effective for the 90 days, and I think that people probably saw awesome results. And I think that I know that there's still people in the fire department that use those videos.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
So, and they're still good. I mean,
if you're looking for a 90-day kind of kickstart to start something new, or you're kind of in a rut in what you're doing now, it's probably going to work for a little while, but it's not going to work forever.
Yeah, correct.
And I don't think those programs did a whole lot to kind of educate you on what you're doing and why, and how this drives you towards this goal versus that goal, and really kind of teaches you how to live in your body.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's a big thing. I think that there's a lot more people who want to know why they're doing things now. So they don't want to know just what to do, but why they're doing it. And I think that's I think people have a lot of questions about fitness now.
Yeah, definitely. Which is, I think, a good thing, as long as they're coming at it from the right frame of mind. Because you will still find people that you'll tell them, the why of why you program something, and they'll always throw, well, I read this, and on this TikTok video, and on this Instagram account. It's like, all right, you're not ready to actually do this stuff.
Okay. This is an awesome fitness fad that I want to talk about because this is huge right now. Fitness influencers. We need to talk about that. And we'll probably close up with this because we're approaching almost 45. Actually, we're almost at 47 minutes now. So let's close up with fitness influencers and what you're seeing, because we've mentioned it before, and I think that people don't understand the reality of fitness influencers. So let me hear your take on kind of what's going on with the fitness influencers that you see on TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat and all this other Facebook, whatever social media that you're seeing. So before you go into kind of, I want to hear your thoughts, but to me, what a fitness influencer is it's somebody who's on these social media platforms, giving out workouts or giving out exercises or influencing people to get fit, but they may not have much substance behind what they're teaching, is my take on it. There are some out there who are extremely knowledgeable, but there's a lot out there who are genetically gifted. What's your take?
Well, I mean, obviously, you're always going to run into this with it, and it is in your face as marketing is these days. And a lot of that stuff on TikTok, Instagram, and all that is marketing. They're getting paid by companies to, do certain things or say certain things or show certain products. So you always have to kind of be mindful of that. Like, all right, is this person coming at this from they want to educate me and have me accomplish my fitness goals, or are they coming at this from I got paid to say or do or sell this, and because I look good, there's probably going to be some little ping in your mind that says, well, if he does this and looks good, or if she does this and looks good, or if he or she looks the way I want to and my wildest fucking dreams looks good, then I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And there's not a whole lot of substance you can get across a 20 to 30 second TikTok video. It's not going to happen.
No, and I think so. Part of me is like, okay, it's really cool to see all these people influencing fitness, but at the same time, I disagree because with a lot of it, because there's just not a lot of science behind it. It's just kind of people flaunting their genetic gift.
But it's all marketing.
It is, and I think that's what people. What I hope is that again, I think with every good there's bad, and I think that there are probably social influencers. I know like Camille Labaz is on there, and I've seen Annie Thor's daughter on there doing some stuff, and so there's some reputable people on there. Doing some fitness influencing, but there are also non-reputable people on there that have made a living off of the way that they look. And I think that can be dangerous because I think it sets false expectations for people who are watching their channels or their videos or whatever, that they start to get these false expectations that if I do this program, this is what I'm going to look like.
Yeah, and those are expectations that you are never going to live up to.
Right.
I mean, if I watch a video of, oh shit, I don't even know who's popular these days.
Rich Froning.
Rich Froning?
Yeah, sure.
That's another good one. Rich Froning or Zac Efron's another one.
Oh, there you go.
If I wake up in the morning and I get on TikTok or Instagram, I don't think Froning's on TikTok, but anyway, get on one of these sites and see one of those guys doing a workout, or this is how I do this to stay buff or rip. God, I sound old, like, the kids say rip, right? But, this is what I do every morning for 20 minutes to look the way I do. And it's just like the guy that used to do the Bowflex commercials in the 90s. Yeah. And it's just jacked, shredded dude. And if you know anything about a Bowflex, this guy's, doing lat pull downs with 57 pounds, and you're going, you didn't get that way from doing Bowflex, dickhead.
No, not at all.
And on the other side, if I watch Zac Efron or Rich Froning, because I think they're both about the same height, doing all this stuff, and they're also not the whitest person on the planet like I am, there is no way in hell my body, who is literally comfortable at 225 because it hasn't basically moved in, I don't know, 15 years.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm going to look like Rich Froning or Zac Efron. It's not going to happen.
Right.
I mean, if I put on enough muscle to get proportional muscle to, their body types, I'm going to be 250 and I'm going to look like an ogre. It's not going to happen.
I already thought you were Shrek.
I won't be able to go to the grocery store. People are like, oh my God, he's cooking for all the food. How are the children? And that's unfortunately is something that I think is forgotten by most people when they're watching these types of influencers or these types of just, gifted and hardworking, insanely hardworking athletes. They're going, I want to look like him. Like, you better pack a lunch because that guy works his ass off to look like himself.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and I think that's one thing that social media also shows the lightest side of people. People tend to post their lightest side, so sometimes it may take them 4 or 5 takes to get what they post. So even as fitness influencers, I've seen a lot lately, and this is actually something that that I hope that people do, is people pose themselves when they do videos. And I am not one that poses to myself when I do my videos. If you watch my videos, you will see that I do not pose.
Please don't pose.
But I think that you can put your body in certain poses that makes it look better. And I think that there's a lot of stuff that can be potentially harmful to the psyche by watching a lot of the fitness influencers and not paying attention to your own lane and making sure that what you're doing is what's right for your body and what's right for your goals. And we as we've talked about before, people are built differently, people move differently, have different movement patterns, and watching a social a fitness influencer, those movements may not be okay for your body. And so I think you need to take that into consideration also when you're watching fitness influencers.
So, yeah, obviously, I mean, there's a certain key for everyone to figure out exactly what works for them, diet-wise and fitness-wise and lifestyle-wise and everything else. And shit, I kind of forgot where I was going with that.
Well, here's what I think we need to do. I think we have now approached close to 55 minutes, so I think it's time for us to close up anyway. It is now Tuesday. So
it's been Tuesday for an hour and 10 minutes.
Not for me, only for 10 minutes.
That's because you guys are lazy out there. You can't even keep time.
So just in closing, I think there's a lot of good fitness trends out there that are up and coming, and I think that they've been fitness trends. Some of them have been fitness trends for a while, and I think that pay attention, start doing some research on stuff, find out what works for you, and just remember that just moving is the most important thing. Getting up off the couch, getting your blood flowing, getting your body moving, even if it's without equipment, with equipment. If you go to the gym, if you don't go to the gym, biggest thing is get moving.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, if one of these trends looks attractive to you, if you can, do a little research, find out what it is that they're doing in this trend, find out why it should work or could work, find out what it works best for, what it works not so good for, and see if those things align with your goals. And then if they do, see if you like it, give it a try.
Absolutely. Hey, Brian, we got through one podcast with only one interruption.
That's not bad, really.
That's not bad at all.
Our nutrition one, I guarantee, was at least 12 takes.
Yeah. I think it was more than that, but anyway, hey, everybody, thank you for listening to FTF Health and Fitness, the episode number 7 on fitness trends and fads in 2021. We will see you guys next week when we talk about something.
Something.
Any closing remarks, Brian?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Have a good rest of the week.
You too. Good night.